And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the last day of June. Today is the last day of June, June 30th. Woo! So man, did June fly by. And now I believe July will as well. There's a short week this week. We have a 3-day weekend upcoming because it is 4th of July. We have school starting back at the end of this month. So we are knee deep in getting things out there. And that's why we've been kind of focusing on spiritwear, this last couple shows, and probably will for a lot this month, just because hey, that's what we need to be focusing on, right? A lot of ours started back in, I was gonna say, the spring or the fall, started in the spring to get ready for the fall. So, hey, get in here, get your conversations in, because this one, is talking about doing, why you should do online stores instead of the paper order forms. Why it just makes sense and why online stores will beat those old school paper forms. And there's still times that we use it, but hey, they're using online stores when we're lost things, fewer mistakes, real-time tracking with stuff, easier for everybody involved, and it's higher sales because you're able to get it out to more people. So this is going to be the one for you if you're tired of chasing those checks and reading chicken scratch and dealing with incomplete order forms. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, here's what I need from you. I need to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area, because it needs to be interactive. And then your top five. What are five things that you are going to accomplish today? Put those down in the comments. If you're watching replay, team replay down in the comments as well. We've got a busy week. And so today, DTF stuff, invoice stuff, press shirts, we've got follow-ups, and we've got a banner project that we're working on. So those are our five things. I'd love to hear your five things. But remember, it's only interactive if you come join us. And that's where we go from there. Barb, good morning to you. North Central Minnesota, 64 and sunny. Water in the cup, five things. Digitizing embroidered lab coats. Ooh, very nice. Email 5x7 ad. Organize inventory. Well, will come webinar. That sounds like a great day. Other things that I know that were on the list is we have our mentorship community call. That's at 9:30 today. So you'll be able to, if you're in that, there. And then make sure to check out our links. Hey, we've got mentorship stuff in our links. We've got affiliate links in our links, and those help keep the lights and mics on. Uh, Most importantly, if you are on our email list, you should be getting an email probably, I think, in the next hour. To double check, you should get an hour because there is going to be something special in that code. Ooh, what do we got there? Make sure you're on the email list for it. All right. Let me pull up the notes and let's get into this. And like I said, as we discuss these things, if you have questions, comments, concerns, let us know. So that way, you know, we can uh, we can get those things rocking and rolling and get them answered here. And the show is really nothing without you guys. So always encouraged to put stuff in there. So what are we talking about? Why those online merch stores are better than paper forms. Because paper order forms might might seem simple, but could they really be sabotaging your sales? Could they be sabotaging your systems? And most importantly, could they be sabotaging your sanity? Um, you know, Crumpled up forms, misspelled names, dog eaten, checks that never are attached to it, cash that's right there. And really, by the time everything's turned in with it, half the parents forgot stuff, and their other half are mad that their kids didn't get something that was on the list. You know, um, Online stores really fix all that. They make it easier. And how do they do it? They make your life easier. They make your client's life easier. They create that better buying experience from start to finish. And when we're that's what we want to do, is create a great buying experience. So it doesn't matter whether you're trying to get a school to switch, or you're still on the fence. Hopefully this episode will give you, some really good reasons to leave that clipboard behind and really level up those online merch stores with it. All right. So any questions, comments, concerns before we move on? Linda checking in. Hi there. It's currently 77 there in Central Texas. Tea in the cup. And Jerry checking in. Morning all. Tea in the cup. Raining there in mid Ohio. We've had off and on. And what do we got rocking and rolling today? Um, let's see, what do we have? What do we have rocking and rolling today? Because I think all this week it's trash. It's like 77 out right now here, and high of 90. We got high of 90 today, then 85, 88, 90, 91, 88. Yeah, we're hitting summer. So we got that. Oh, and for those that have messaged over the weekend and checking in, Corey's doing fine. She's doing a lot better today. Well, she was doing a lot better last night than what she was on Friday. She was still in a lot of pain on Friday. Over the weekend, it's gotten better, so she is able to do more. But hey, she's had surgery on Thursday, and so slowly but surely getting things back. She's gonna work today, and by work today, I mean she's just gonna process orders, go through and see what needs to be done, who needs to be contacted for that, maybe order some stuff, and all the heavy lifting stuff will come to us, me, the kids, who we're hiring to put in for this. I do believe our press is supposed to be here tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Other things, I really think rhinestone transfers are going to be on the future outlook for us. We're working with some partners on some things. You might see some changes here soon on that. To a little cross promotion. Like I said, this place might find a new home, might find a sponsor first, and then a home. We're working out the details, and hopefully we can get those named out this week. Because hey, man, I'm all about trying to grow the brand and the business and hear what we're doing. Yeah, great to hear. Each day should be better. And I told her, I said, I just don't remember mine. My surgery was 26 years ago. And I'm like, I don't remember. I just remember it didn't seem like I was out that long with it. And so let's just and go from there. And then hi, Jerry and Linda from Barb. And hello, Todd, Linda, and Barb from Jerry. Thanks, sharing's caring. So get out there, share this, comment wherever you are, comment away. All right. Number one, uh, online stores really do kill the chaos. All right. So paper forms are just really chaos in disguise. They they they're steeped in tradition because that's just the way it's always been, right? And every form comes back folded, ripped, coffee stained, stapled up. Handwriting is a gamble. What does that say? Is that John or Jen? I don't know. And the chances that every envelope has the right amount of cash in it or the check in there, it's pretty slim. And so that leaves you or your client, piecing things together like a detective. Missed orders, duplicate sizes, lost payments are inevitable. They are going to happen. We have had it happen plenty of times with it. And what did we find? Ah, yes. Online stores eliminated a lot of that mess, because why is that? Well, because the orders are entered directly in by the buyer. So they're not filling any form out. They're typing it out. Payments, they're collected instantly. They're processed through the site. So you're not checking with this. You're not adding cash to this. You're not going through to match things up. Payments collected instantly. Everything is tracked in one place, so there's no guesswork required. Online, here's the order command. You can change the process that it goes through. Is it order in, order complete, production, all that. It's just done online, so they're able to see it. And what does this mean? This means those fewer late night texts asking, what does this say? Is there supposed to be a check with this? Where's that order form? And so it gives both you and your client, the group you're working with, whoever it is, just way more peace of mind that you can do this. you know, uh, you talk to somebody, throughout the years of doing this, we've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people about how spiritware works and the way that they do it. And man, there's been people that had straight up cried tears of joy when they switched from, online form or when they switched from forms to online stores. Because used to spend like so much time just sorting out the envelopes of what was in there, trying to make sure everything was right. What was this box checked or not this box checked? And you don't have to do that anymore. I remember those times where we'd get 27 paper forms and 25 of them had payments. Where's the other ones? Uh, how do we do this? And now it's one store, one link, zero paperwork, full transparency. Boom, they put it all in there. We print it out and it's done. So when you're thinking about this, if you're still one that is not doing online stores, make a checklist. Compare your paper form problems versus your online store wins, and that's what you need to do. What does it mean to you, and what does that look like? Saving money, saving time. All right. Next one is huge. All right, because fewer headaches, fewer errors equal fewer headaches. All right, because mistakes are expensive. And honestly, paper forms are kind of like a mistake magnet. Parent will accidentally circle the wrong size. Names will get cut off. Kids forget to turn in things altogether. And then you're left making assumptions or even eating the cost of a reprint. And so it's not just annoying, it's really damaging your reputation and your margins on it. With an online store, customers enter in all their own information. You can put as much or as little info, but the more that you put in there, the better when building these. So things like sizes, auto formats of names, and they can control exactly what's available. Um, this dramatically will reduce errors because they are responsible for what they input, and then we set the limits of it. No more guessing. If youth extra large was a typo or a preference, they're just selecting it. The other thing is when you're up with a service like Chipley, you're tied into your vendors. So if a product drops below your inventory threshold, you're not able to sell it on site. So they can't have it. It works out great. Now, there was times when we would have, a few reprints in every bulk order due to paper issues. And what did that mean? Could be misspelling the name, could be something typed wrong, it could be I didn't interpret something the right way. And when we made the switch over to online stores, I honest to God think in the last year we have had less than 5 mistakes, and those mistakes were in the beginning because of the printer we were using, and, we missed the names on the back, so all we had to do is add names to the back, nothing big and exciting. We figured out, "Oh, we gotta turn the color part on so it shows, 'Hey, here's what it is,'" and that was in the beginning, we knew that was gonna happen. Now there's another time, where we have, missed out on orders because stuff was missing off of it. Like, hey, they had these extra line items that were there and nobody ever turned it in. And they're like, where are these extra 10 hoodies at? I'm like, well, no, you never ordered them. What do we do? That was lost revenue for us. That was lost out on them. And the biggest thing is they're like, well, it's too late. We needed it for this and it doesn't have it. So we're just out it. Creating those stores, having all the information on there really, really changes it. So when you're going through and building your stores, make sure that you're including size guides and visuals in there to really reduce the buyer confusion and really make it error proof and easier. The easier we can make it for a customer to order, especially online, the easier it's going to make our life for it. Uh, let's see. Jerry said online stores are much better. Try that again. Online stores are much easier for directors, coaches, from my experience. That's a win all the way around. Absolutely. And Linda says, if the parent picks the wrong thing, the mistake is on them, not on us. Yep. In theory, Linda. Yeah. Especially with online stores, because it's really hard to do that. There's times when, they might have circled something and they thought it was one thing and it turned out to be something else. We've ran in that. And then what do? You just go along with it and figure it out. All right. Next, when you're doing online stores, you get real time tracking, and that is better than planning. Because paper forms are zero visibility. You don't know who submitted. You don't know how many shirts have been sold. You don't know how much money has been raised until someone collects all the paperwork, counts up everything, double, triple checks the math and let's be honest, that can take forever sometimes, and when they're on a tight production schedule, oh, you're spending that extra time to go through it and do it. You know, when we have an online store, everything is transparent in real time. We can see how many people have ordered. We can see what's popular. Sometimes, we'll add something new and we think it's great and realize they only sold one. It's not as popular as what we thought. So we can see, how things are going up and down with it. And this really lets lets us and our clients, kind of send out more reminders. Hey, here's what it is. We see where this is with it. We can see that this one's really popular. Maybe we should push it more. We can see that, orders aren't where they are. We need to make sure that people know, hey, you've only got a limited time to order, so let's get it taken care of. So it turns that reactive process into a proactive one, and it makes us look like the pro. Hey, your store's closed. Your store's been open 2 weeks, and we haven't had a sale in since day one. Are we sending stuff out? Are we doing this with it? We want to make sure that we're doing it. Um, you know, when we would give access to, our clients for the stores, some were really shocked by the numbers they saw. They're like, "I didn't realize that we had, this many things going on." I'm like, "Yeah, this is why we went to online because it's easier to see, easier to manage." And for us, so they could see the more that they posted things, the sales would come in, and it came in like a gain to 'em. I can post this today, and now this sale comes in. Great thing with it. Uh, so having those reminder posts, having those mock-up posts, showing the image off that when we push something, sales will go up for it. When we say, "Hey, this store ends, today, June 30th at, 9 p.m. tonight. Get your orders in." Guess what? Orders come in because they see that it's coming up to the end for it. Uh, Let's see any other questions, comments, concerns before we move on to four. We'll get into that. Um, you know, Online stores, it's easier for everyone, just not us, right? Because yes, they are a great thing for us, and it is a huge selling point on how easy online stores are for everyone involved. Coaches can coach and don't have to chase checks anymore. Teachers don't have to keep track of who turned in what and where. Parents don't have to, you know, find a printer to print out a form to do this and do that if they don't have it. They don't have to send exact change with their kids and hopefully they don't buy something on the way store. They don't have to worry about it getting lost in a bag or left behind somewhere or God forbid some other kids steal it. Right. With online stores, all that's taken away. All they need is just a link. Hey, you can do it from your phone. You can do it from your email. You can do it from wherever. That's all you need with it. So that shift in effort makes it way more attractive, right? You're not just saying, "Hey, buy my stuff." You're saying, "Hey, let us handle the headache, so you don't have to." Let the teachers teach and the coaches coach. We can take care of the rest for you, and that kind of relief really makes you look like the hero and not a vendor. So I will often say that I don't want to print for you. I want to be your print partner. I know that together we can do a lot of great things. I'm telling you, there's going to be a beta thing that I'm pretty sure is going to happen, and I'm going to look for like 20 that on a consistent basis for like a month. We'll order stuff to see if we can make the process work, and you'll be taken care of for that. We work together on stuff. We want to be partners in it because we want to, just like anything else, we want it to be easy, right? We want one link, zero hassle. And that's how we do on online stores. Here's your link, zero hassle. Just do this. We can take it there from you. So, it's your action step. Is as you're putting, your stores together, that's what you're going to use as your headline for it. One link, zero hassle. And we're just going to put that in all of our marketing stuff. Now, numero five, as we wrap this up and come to the end there, online stores just multiply our reach, right? Because paper forms are a closed loop system. They go home in a backpack, and they never leave that inner circle. So they stay in the house. They might call grandma and aunt and be like, "Hey, you know, Hattie's selling stuff, for spiritwear. Do you guys want to get any? It's helped to raise funds for it. Well, what am I looking at? What do I do? Because here's a form. What is this for it? Hey, guess what? Uh, Online stores, they're shareable, right? They can be texted to grandma. They can be posted to Facebook. They can be dropped in an email newsletter. Every share expands your reach and brings in more orders. You're just able to do it. And what does this mean? It means more profit for your client and more visibility for you. That digital trail makes it easier for others to find you, to see your work, and request a store of their own. So really, it's free marketing that are just baked right in the system. A parent can share their store into a family group chat, right? Well, depending on that could bring in stores. They could bring in sales for that store because they're there to support that child. But it could also, hey, we'd like to do that for our school, our organization. They would have never seen that if it would have been in a paper form. We've seen this in the church side of things where we've put together a store for a church and they've shared it, and somebody else was like, "Hey, we would like to do that for our ministry. How can we do that?" And we picked them up that way. So it's almost what we need to do is include like a mini promo kit with every single store, graphics, captions, so clients can easily share and drive more sales. So here's the text to use, here's the images to use, here's the stuff you need to do to have a successful store for it. Right? We help them create better information, put out better marketing materials, and it'll help grow from there. And Gary says the marketing part of it is huge, especially when sales are down. We could really help with that. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all are, is we're marketers, right? We are marketers. That's what we are. So to wrap all this up, the storefront is digital. Yeah, the storefront of the future is digital. Right? You're not just making life easier for yourself. You're creating a better experience for your clients, their customers, and everyone in between. Online stores. They're not just a trendy upgrade. They're smart. They are scalable, and they are a way for decorators who really want to grow their business without growing their success for it. And how can we do this? Let's recap. Online stores will eliminate the chaos. Online stores will most likely result in fewer mistakes, which means fewer headaches. Online stores are able to see real time stats, so it's better decisions. So we can put it. How do I think I started wrong. Um, Online stores are easier for everyone involved, you and your clients, and online stores are shareable. So that is going to equal more stores and more exposure. So if you're still doing forms, really, it's time to upgrade because this is where it's going, and this is what we need to do for you. Right. That's what I have for you today. Questions, comment, concerns. As this week goes, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, except this week. Why? Friday is a holiday. I wonder what's going to be on your 4th of July menu. I think ours is pulled pork, ribs, chicken legs, burgers, brats, baked potato salad, and I'm not sure what else everybody's bringing, but that's what we got going on for our 4th of July. We'll ask you what you have going on for yours. On the other side, so I said we won't be here Friday for this. I've got another one lined up for us on Wednesday. We've got some meetings this week where we might be bringing in some sponsors. And like I said, it could be a little bit here where they sponsor, and then actually us on their channel, which is super exciting for it. We've got other things in the work for us, and depending how these projects go, we're still working with our marketing team to develop that system for people. When again, there we're still working on building the new community and being able to put that stuff over there. Remember, if you get into it now, you are locked in at that price. New one opens up, there could be some hefty changes going on just in where the business is going with things. So there's a lot of stuff going on with it, and I'm super excited for it. We're going to be beta testing some stuff, some software here, and I think the next 2 weeks. I think the week after this next week, we're supposed to be looking at that. So there's some fun things going on. Super excited for it. I think if everything goes as planned, by the time we hit August, it's gonna be a whole new world, like Aladdin singing, "Baby." It's gonna be wild, wild ride, and you guys are gonna be in for an amazing adventure that I'm not sure, but we're about halfway there right now. It could be Oregon Trail. We could get, we could just what was that? Dysteria? We could get Dysteria and not make it to the end, but we're gonna keep pushing through with it. All right. Remember, like, subscribe, share, comments, all of that stuff down here. Use your affiliates. They help keep the lights and mics on. So until next time, which will be Wednesday, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We will